Hello and welcome back to the channel. So this lecture we are going to work with the HBase on our Hadoop cluster. So in the previous lecture we have seen what is HBase, what are the different features, how the data is stored in HBase table as well as its architecture. So we have seen what is HMaster, what are the region servers, what are regions, as well as what is the role of zookeeper in the HBase architecture. So in this lecture we are going to work with the data with HBase, where we will create a table in HBase database which definitely will store the data in HDFS, and we will load the data by running this pig script. So here we will be using the pig to integrate with HBase to populate the big data into our HBase table. So for that purpose we will be using a data file which contains the user data, which has all the users which have rated to the particular movies. So here are the commands which needs to be executed for this particular lecture. So here you can see we need to get movies.user file, which is our data file which we will be loading in our HBase table, and after that we will get the required script. So here I have already uploaded this content into the GitHub repository. So we'll just get that by using the wget command, and we'll create a directory in HDFS, and we'll just copy that data file into that particular directory, and we'll execute the pig script through the command line itself. But first we need to start the HBase service on our HDP Sandbox. So the first step will be just boot up your HDP Sandbox. So I have already kept it in a running position. So here you can see it is up and running, and you can just log on to the Ambari to ensure that all the services are running fine without any issues. So first thing first, we need to log into the Ambari and turn on the HBase services. So here just go to your favorite browser and go to localhost 8080, which is the login page for Ambari, and log in through maria_dev, and the password is maria_dev. So after logging in, just close the warnings, and as you can see all my services are running fine without any issues. So if you face any issues, you can always restart the HDP Sandbox, because most of the times those will be the connection issues which will be solved by restarting the server. So here you can see we have the HBase service here. So go to HBase and go to service actions and just click on start. That's it. So confirm start, and it will take some time. So just grab your coffee and come back once the HBase is started. So I hope all the services are running fine and you have zero alerts here. So let me just quickly show you the data which we are dealing with for this HBase example. So I have already uploaded it here in the Hadoop repository. So here is the movies.user file which contains the data for all the users. Let me just show you that. So this file is delimited by the pipe character. So as you can see, we have the user ID, then the age, then we have the gender, the occupation of the user, as well as the zip code where that particular user resides. So this is our data which we are going to load in our HBase table. But you have to make sure that prior to loading the data, that HBase table should be created and present there. So before executing our pig file, we will just go to the HBase shell and create one empty table, and we'll be good to load the data by simply running that pig script. Let me show you that script as well. So if we just go back, we have the pig named HBase example.pig. So this is our pig script which we are going to load. So I hope you're already aware what is Apache Pig and little bit more about the syntax which Pig uses for scripting purpose. So it uses Pig Latin language for doing all sorts of operation. So it is just similar to the SQL, but it's kind of different. So here we have to create a relation. Relation is nothing but a data set. So if you know about Spark, you know about the data frame. So relation is similar to the data frame which we dealt with during the Spark tutorials. So here in the first line of code, we have created a relation named as users by loading the data. So first we need to load the data into HDFS directory, which is user maria_dev. Then we will create one pig directory, and then we'll load our movies.user data. So here, as you can see, we have given the pig storage option here to let it know that the fields are delimited by the pipe character. So that's why you have used the pig storage and given the pipe character here. And in as clause, we have given the metadata for that file. So here you can see we have the user ID, then we have the age in integer, then we have the gender, occupation, and the zip code where that user resides. So this is pretty much our data file, and this is our relation. But the next step would be we need to load this relation into our HBase table. We have used the store option here to load that particular relation into our HBase. So here you can see we will be creating a users table here. So we'll just create one empty table users. We'll be having the columns such as users will have the unique identity. So in this movies.user file, our key would be the user ID. So that's why you have to maintain the order here. So the first will be the key, and the rest all, which is nothing but age, gender, occupation, and zip, will be stored in a column family. So we will give the user info as a column family, and these remaining fields will be the part of that column family. And we'll pretty much give the metadata here. So as you can see, we have column family. So we will be having the user info column family where we have the age, gender, occupation, and zip. So before running this file, we have to make sure that the particular table, which is users, should be created having the users and user info column family. But first, let's import these files into the HDP Sandbox, and then we will upload the data file into the HDFS so that we can start working with the data, right? So just for that, open the PuTTY terminal here, then log into the Maria_dev. So it has the Maria_dev @localhost as a host name, and the port is 2222. So just open it, and you already know the password, which is Maria_dev. Yeah. So here you can see we don't have any files in here. So we need to first import those two files, which are nothing but our data file on which we'll be creating these relations and load it into the HBase table. And we have the actual pig script, which is HBase_example.pig. So we'll get those from our GitHub repository. So for that, just give like wget https://raw.github/user-content.com/ our username is Patil11/Hadoop/main/movies.user. So this is our user data file. If everything looks good, just hit enter. Yeah, and the next command will pretty much the same. So just give the up arrow, and instead of movies.user, just give the script name. So our script name is HBase_example.pig. So I'll be giving these commands in the description below so that it will save a lot of time, and you can just copy and paste it to get started executing our script. So just hit enter. That's it. So if you hit ls, we have the two files loaded. So the next step would be we need to upload our data file, which is movies.user, into the HDFS directory. So for that purpose, let's create one directory into the user Maria_dev, and we'll upload our file by using the copyFromLocal command. So first we need to create one directory. So for that, just give like Hadoop _fs. So fs means file system. You can also use HDFS DFS. That is also valid. So just give like -mkdir for making the directory. So we will create one directory in the path such as user/Maria_dev, which is our username / and here we'll give like pig. So this will be our directory. So that's it. So now we can upload our movies.user file into this directory. So for that, again give like Hadoop fs and give the command as copyFromLocal. So here you have to look out for the capitalization, otherwise it will throw an error. Then give our file name, which is movies.user, and give the target directory. So give like user Maria_dev pig movies.user. That's it. Yeah, so we have created one directory and also loaded the file in the HDFS path. So if you just go to the Ambari and go to files view, so it will just take time. So HDFS test is completed. Yeah, so just go to the user, then our user is Maria_dev, go into that, and as you can see, we have created big directory. And if we go into it, yeah, we have the data file here. So we have uploaded the data file to the PuTTY terminal. So we can just open it and take a peek into it. So here you can see, so this is our data file which is delimited by the pipe characters. So just cancel it. So that's it. Now we have to create one HBase table named users, and which will be having the user info as a column family, and we will be ready to execute our pick script on our HDP Sandbox. So I hope we are already excited for that. So let's go to the HBase shell and execute those commands. So as we have imported our files and transferred it to the HDFS, so now let's create one HBase table. So for creating HBase table, just go to the HBase shell. So give like HBase and shell. Hit enter. So it will take time to open the command prompt. So as you can see, you are in the HBase shell now. So HBase have some simple commands which we will execute now. So the first one is list command, which will give us all the tables which are already present in our HBase database. So if we give list and hit enter, yeah. So as you can see, there are some preloaded tables which are given by our Hadoop Sandbox, but we need to create one table having the name users and the column family as user info. So for that purpose, we have one command known as create. So for that, just give like create, give the quotes, and in quotations, give like users, which is the table name and also the unique key, comma, and again in quotes, give like user info. So this command will create a table in our HBase database having the name users and the column family user info. Hit enter. So as you can see, the command has been succeeded. So if we give list again, as you can see, our users table has been successfully created. So now we have created a HBase table. So we are pretty much good to execute our pick script, which will load that users data into our HBase table. So are you ready? So without further ado, just execute that script. So for that purpose, you need to just exit from the HBase shell. So give like exit, and you can just execute our pick script. But first, let's take a look at how this pick script looks like. So let's HBase underscore example dot pick. So as you can see, it is very simple script. So here we are creating users relation by loading the movies.user data. So this is stored in the HDFS. So we have already imported that, which has the delimiter, which is pipe character. And here is the metadata, and here we are loading this users relation into our users table, which we have just created. So we have already created our HBase table in which we have the users as well as the column family, which is named as user info. So we'll just get out from it and we can just execute the script right away. So we'll give like pig HBase underscore example dot pig. That's it. If everything looks fine, hit enter. So as you can see, our pig job has been started up, and in the backend what it is doing is it is just converting it into a MapReduce job which is running across our cluster. So our cluster is nothing but our HDP Sandbox, which only has one data node. So it's only a single node cluster, but we are not dealing with a big data here, but you will get a clear understanding how it's doing its groundwork in the backend. So here are all the logs, and it will just take some time because it is creating a big job which loads the data into our HBase table. So it's consuming a lot of resources. So just let it execute it. So as you can see, our job has been completed, and here you can see the output successfully stored 943 records in our users table present in the HBase database. So now to just look into the data, again you have to go to the HBase shell now. So just give like HBase shell, hit enter. So in the HBase, just if you just give like list, yeah, we have our table users which is already created before our job, right? So if you want to look out the data, we have the command known as scan, which is used to display the records present in our HBase table. So to do that, just give like scan, and in quotation give the table name which is users. Hit enter, and as you can see, our table has been successfully populated with our data file. So here you can see we have the user info column family, which have age, gender, occupation, as well as the zip. So if you take an example for the user ID 99, so here you can see this is our unique identifier here. So we have used the user ID as the key. So for the user ID 99, we have the column family as user info. So we have the column equals to user info. So for age, we have the value 20 and it has generated timestamp automatically. So we have the timestamp on which the particular record inserted in our table. So again, we have the gender, which is again the next column in our column family, which is user info, and we have the value M. Similarly for occupation, it's a student, and the zip is also there. So this is how you can create a table in HBase and also populate it with using the pig, because we can use pig to integrate with HBase for loading the data. So what we have done is we had one data file which contained the information of all the users, and for populating that into HBase, we have created one table named as users, and it has the column family. So if you know more about what is a column family database, I'll recommend you to watch the previous lecture where I have explained you how the data is stored in HBase. So just look out for that. And after that, we have just imported our required files. Then we have imported our data file into HDFS directory, and we have executed our pig script, which nothing but creates a relation on top of the data file and loads the data directly into HBase table. So I hope you enjoyed this lecture. So if you have any difficulties or you're facing any issues regarding your HDP Sandbox, just let me know in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So to clear up your mess, you need to drop the table. But before dropping it, you need to disable the table if you're dealing with the HBase table. So for that, just give like disable, then in quotation give the table name, which is users. Hit enter. So this will just disable the table, and you can just simply drop the table by using the drop command. So just give drop and in quotes again give like users. Yeah, so if we hit list command now, as you can see our users table has been successfully dropped. So you can just exit from here, and that's it. So after that, you can just do a simple cleanup by going into the files view, then go to the users, Marie_dev, and we have the pig repository. So you can just delete this file. So just delete it. So this is just a cleanup activity which is not mandatory for you. Then you can just come back to the home. So as you can see in HBase, we have started the HBase to execute our commands, but now we have executed it. So you can just stop the service now. So I'll recommend you to stop the services once you have used them. It will just take some time. Yeah, so our HBase services has been successfully stopped. So that's it for this lecture. So I'll see you in the next lecture where we will discuss about one of the most popular NoSQL databases out there, which is Cassandra. So I hope you like this lecture. So please subscribe to our channel and also ring the notification bell to get the latest updates. And don't forget to follow us on our social media, which I have linked in the description below. Thanks for watching.